Hello and welcome to another episode of Velocity Kinetics. We're on Build an F1 Team Again, Part 8, the setup of the team. Now, as per the explaining what Build an F1 Team is setup, do I want pay drives? Do I want to be a privateer? Do I want to be networks? How do I want to work it? Pardon the pun. Now, I'm not completely fond of pay drivers myself. Granted, they wouldn't be given the seat if they didn't have the talent. A lot of this, whether I have a pay driver or not, really depends on how much sponsorship I can get for my team. Now, assuming I can get a title sponsor, that would be fantastic. I would try and be the Honda Works team, and if I got Volvo Polestar involved, then I would be the Volvo Polestar Works team. Now, that couple, so being the Works team guarantees more money, so I shouldn't need as much need for a pay driver. What I would encourage my drivers to do, now you might sit there and think, well, you're just encouraging pay drivers again. Not necessarily. What I would encourage my drivers to do is if they can get some sponsorship in, so say, for instance, I hired Valtteri Bottas, for example. He gets a lot of sponsorship from Kempi, which is a steel firm in Finland. I would encourage my drivers, if there's a firm that wants to be affiliated with you, and they are willing to contribute towards our budget, bring them in. I'm not saying that they have to be the whole sponsorship. Like Pastor Maldonado had PDVSA, the Venezuelan state-owned oil company. I wouldn't be going to that extreme. If PDVSA came on and that's what they wanted to pay, then fine. But he's not coming in just because he's got a giant checkbook. My drivers would receive a salary from me. So I wouldn't want to be a full-on privateer team, because that means everything's a lot harder to deal with, if that makes sense. If you look at, say, a team like Williams, whilst they're a true privateer in every sense of the word, given all the success they had in the 70s, the 80s, and to a lesser extent the 90s and some of the 2000s, they have created such a burden in some aspects of what they need to keep afloat. Basically, they've got massive facilities. Without the works backing, they're kind of eternally having to dig that out themselves. Whereas with the works backing, I would be able to not quite run whatever facility I want, but it alleviates some of the financial pressure. So I'd want to be Honda or Polestar, Volvo, whatever. I'm probably going to I don't know how I'm going to call what I'm going to call them. Keep alternating between Polestar and Volvo. Anyway, I would want to be the works team with the ability to exclude other people from having my engine, if I could. Certainly, at least in the Volvo situation, I wouldn't want anyone else having it if I could. I would encourage my drivers to bring in sponsorship if they can, because if they bring in more sponsorship, it just means I can potentially just give them a bigger paycheck. If a driver so chose to want a deal similar to what Ayrton Senna had with Williams, where Ayrton didn't take a salary from Williams, his income was going to be derived from sponsorship. If a driver so chooses to do that with my team, then fine. I'm not going to stop him doing that. I would insist on giving him a stipend just to sweeten the deal for them. As for salaries, I wouldn't be going stupid with the salaries. I wouldn't be looking at someone like not Valtteri. Who is it? Raikkonen, Hamilton, Alonso, when McLaren had the Honda money. I wouldn't be paying 25, 30, 40, 50 million a season to drive for my team, because all that money spent on wages, you don't have that then to spend on the car. Or if you do have to spend on the car, it then means your team makes a smaller profit at the end of the year, and ultimately the company is a business. So I wouldn't pay my drivers any more than 15 million a season, depending on their caliber. If they bring in sponsorship to sweeten the deal, that would be fine. But yeah, that's pretty much how I would set my team up if I could. So look after yourselves, get involved, and we'll see you later. Velocity Kinetics has been made in association with Road Race Parts. Top quality, best prices, no compromise. Head to roadraceparts.com to get parts for your racing vehicles now.